So I'm out on Sunday afternoon, April 12th, I think, and I'm going to Shiki no Mori Park. It's about 1:15, maybe quarter after 1. So from my apartment to the park is maybe 1.2 kilometers, and I'm about halfway there now. The sun keeps coming in and out, but overall it's a pretty nice day. This is my second attempt at this video because I got my mask down so I can speak more clearly, but I was passing a lot of people, so I was a bit self-conscious about having my mask down. It's better etiquette to keep it up, especially when you're walking around people. I've got my hand sanitizer in my pocket so I can spritz my hands if I touch anything, but I'm not planning on touching anything except for my camera. So let me remember what I was saying the first time I recorded this. So basically I was lamenting the laziness and the lack of an actual policy being implemented by the Japanese government. So I won't talk too much about that because it's nothing positive. But I will say, from the websites I check, which include total tests conducted, Canada seems to be processing 10 to 15,000 tests a day as far as I can tell. And America's tested millions of people. Some other countries have tested millions. Korea has tested several hundred thousand, and they've got a fairly low number of cases. So I think Korea has got a pretty good sense of where the infections are and how to contain them. And Japan was criticized way back in January and early February when this situation started becoming more serious, because they were testing only about 3,000 people a day. And from the numbers on this website, as the numbers change day after day after day, it looks like Japan is still only testing 3,000 people a day. And that's just inadequate. There's no point in having a lockdown if you don't know who's sick and having everybody stay home and you're not testing everybody. When do you know when the crisis has abated or passed? You have to test people and add that to your pool of data. So Japan tends to test people when they're already showing symptoms and they go to the hospital, and then the hospital will give them a chest x-ray, and if the chest x-ray shows some congestion, then they'll test you to see if it's COVID-19. But COVID-19 is different from SARS-CoV-2, which is the virus that can lead to the pneumonia, which is what COVID-19 is. So coronavirus disease 19. So that's the potential result of getting the novel coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2. But so many people are asymptomatic or have mild symptoms. You can't just test the people who are already sick with pneumonia. You got to test everybody, so you can start to separate who's carrying it, who's not carrying it, who's already recovered from it. So this antibody blood test would be a good thing. There are people passing me now. I'll just keep talking. But basically, I think everyone in Japan is slowly becoming aware that the government isn't doing very much and they're not testing enough people. So hopefully we'll see this ramp up in the next week or so. And, it'll at least put people's minds at ease, because not knowing is worse than knowing. And if you know you've already had it and recovered and you weren't even aware, that means you have some kind of immunity and you can probably resume something more similar to your normal life that you had. So we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, I will resume my walk. But first I will talk about the bark on this tree. So this looks very peelable. So if you missed out on the toilet paper, or if there's another big toilet paper crisis, you can probably come to your local forest and take some bark home. It's better than nothing. Just a thought. Anyway, we'll end on some green.